3 people came to my house: a psychiatrist, a social worker, and a junior doctor. They came to detain me under the Mental Health Act, but they gave me a choice. I could be admitted as a voluntary patient. This is actually a big decision, whether or not to go into hospital. I was not given much information or any discussion. This decision was made on the spur of the moment. I went into hospital and my psychiatrist drove me there. It was an old-fashioned looking asylum, very forbidding. The furniture was old and flea-ridden. Nevertheless, the nursing staff were kind. They gave me a dose of chlorpromazine very respectfully, and from there on I felt my mind was not my own. Sanity returned. My mind is still not my own. The doctors and nurses conceded within the 3 days that detention was unnecessary. I stayed in hospital for 3 weeks, and the nursing was excellent. I think standards of nursing care have deteriorated over the past 20 years. I had never thought that a psychiatric care was inappropriate. I merely thought it was unimportant. Stelazine kept me well for 10 years. While I sat on the ward, I can remember thinking, this is really serious. My mind began to clear, and the delusions and hallucinations began to clear. It wasn't the medication. It was a therapeutic relationship. The nurses knew how to speak to me. This happened again 20 years later with Dipixol. This time the significant event was my brother visiting, and our conversations made me feel valuable, whereas the conversations with the psychiatrist and the nurses made me feel I wasn't heard. Delusions and hallucinations fade into insignificance. This may happen overnight or over a long time. There is no lightning bolt of sudden revelation. The therapeutic relationship is every bit as effective as medication. Nurses do not value their own effectiveness and consider themselves as mere holding officers whilst the doctors work their magic.